How's it going, everyone? NBA is back, and my guy Evan Mobley had a fantastic debut on both ends of the floor. So let's break it down. We're doing daily or semi-daily content. Like, subscribe, comment, all of that would be hugely, hugely appreciated. Just as much as I appreciated this Evan Mobley absolute dominant performance. And Mobley's had a couple of these games where he's just kind of owned Scotty Barnes and taken his lunch, and this was unfortunately another example of that. First play out here, Mobley isolates against Scotty and doesn't score initially. It's pretty good defense by Barnes, but Mobley's second jump is really second to very few in the league. Like, it's very hard to get up and rebound with Evan Mobley, even after he goes like off of his feet and gets up to his own shot. And Mobley is very much going to benefit from having Garland look a little better. I think Garland, from the clips that I watched in this game, didn't watch this game in full, but it seemed like he's a little bit more his normal speed than before, which is obviously going to help out Mobley, just cutting really hard into the basket right there. Mobley's always going to get so many buckets off of his own easy dunks, and I really do like how the Cavs are doing what every team is doing these days and running inverted ball screens. This is really like, I think I said this in another video, that like the cheat motion of basketball with these inverted ball screens, getting good matchups. Ball ends up swinging to LeVert, and Evan Mobley on the other end is going to get this and hit the corner three. Always good to see Evan Mobley hitting threes. Not his forte by any means, but something that's very good to see from him. Regardless, Mobley's going to get it here, and this is just a violent dunk. Look how quickly Mobley gets off the floor here. Absurd off of 2 feet. I know it's Bruno Fernando defending the rim, and Bruno Fernando is not exactly the most explosive player in the world, but Mobley is absolutely freaky, and this same thing was happening with Fernando as a primary defender. Really just not equipped to guard Mobley in space. His handle is so good. He's so quick for a center, exploding again off of 2 feet and just floating that in. Hopefully the touch shots keep falling for Mobley this year, because that's been, hit or miss throughout his career. And oh my goodness, welcome to the league, Jonathan Mogbo. I love Jonathan Mogbo, man. He hit a 3 today. Jonathan Mogbo hit a 3, which I love. Evan, just nasty spin move here. Just discards Mogbo, and maybe he was one of the hook there, or I don't know exactly. That's probably it. But anyways, Mobley's ability to create advantages against other bigs in isolation, so ridiculous. And of course, he can catch and Euro step around Grady Dick and float it in. The coordination that this 7-footer exhibits on a regular basis is pretty ridiculous. Evan Mobley just does some unbelievably cool things on a basketball court regardless. And here's another one of these possessions against Scotty. This time Mobley is just going to calmly fade over him. And this is like the Anthony Davis stuff that we've wanted to see with Mobley forever. Him as a face-up driver, right? Not as much post-up, which I think is good. Honestly, I do want to watch this Cavs game back in full, or just watch Cavs game to see how the Kenny Atkinson offense looks, because that's one of the things I'm most curious about with this Cavs season. But Mobley, beautiful face up there, and the Mobley usage was good. A lot of this 5-out space, top key stuff. This is really, really good. And again, we see Mobley's second jump, but this is not something we saw a ton of with JB Bickerstaff as well. I mean, he ran some like zoom delay stuff, but it wasn't as much as it seems like it might be now with Mobley as a 5-out kind of hub initiator, which is where he was so dominant in the Celtics series. Bickerstaff did lean into it then, which I give him credit to. I think Bickerstaff is an underrated coach, and hey, he did a pretty nice job today in Detroit. Mobley was so good on offense in this game. Like, it was ridiculous. And his defense was just as on point as well. We can see like the sheer impact that Mobley had on Toronto. This data is via pivot fade, really cool tool. Not an ad, just really like their stuff. This is Toronto's shooting chart when Mobley was on the floor from tonight, and you can see just all of the red in the paint and how there isn't that many shots in their restricted area. Their restricted area frequency, right? Only 23% of their shots came in the restricted area, and they shot 33% there and 33% in the paint. They were forced to take a lot of jumpers in this game, and I think a lot of that is due to Evan Mobley, right? Just forcing people away from the rim. Scotty Barnes ends up losing the ball, missing a fadeaway, because Mobley is one of the best isolation defending bigs in the entire league. There's probably only a few players like the Embiids, maybe Jokic, Anthony Davises, who can actually bother Mobley on defense. And of course, he's a monster when you just park him at the rim and have him contest in space. goes up here, no shot. Mobley is easily going to, I believe that's Jamal Shed, right? Shout out Jamal Shed, man. I'm happy for him. Excited to see him play. He's a very, very Raptors-y type, and I saw this clip on Twitter, man. Mobley just switching on to quickly and shutting his water off. This is what Evan Mobley does to guards all the time. Your center should not be able to move this fluidly, to open up his hips, to stop on a dime there. The fact that he doesn't overextend here is the most important part, because usually most centers, like, it's easy for guards to get them on their back and just kind of force a foul, but Mobley's so coordinated, balanced, keeps control, gets up, blocks that shot, grabs the rebound, ignites the break. Like, oh my lord. And I think this was the play where there were a couple possessions where he just, again, the 1v1s with Scottie Barnes were not going well for Scottie Barnes, as Mobley just rips the ball straight out of his hands and ends up contesting that shot. When Scottie got it back, he was just trying to bully and power through Mobley, which is something that players have been able to do in the past, and it just wasn't working. Mobley is too long and coordinated and mobile, and he has gotten stronger, I think. Mobley sliding his feet here, contorting his body. Just look at how overwhelming of a presence he is here on this play. Just swooping in midair. That is scary. And really, I don't think this is as much about Scottie Barnes as it is about Mobley just being that level of shutdown defender. I think Scottie is great. I think he's going to have a great season, and I believe Scottie got him on this play. Yeah, really impressive. Like, sometimes when you're, guarding a player like Scottie, even if you're Evan Mobley, Scottie does do a good job here generating some push with his hop step, being patient. Obviously, Mobley stays down, and this is a really contested shot, but Scottie Barnes' touch is excellent, and these are the type of shots that he can hit regardless of the kind of defenders. He's just a really, really awesome player. But Mobley did get him back a little bit later. Again, you see Scottie trying to just muscle through Evan Mobley, and to some extent, it's going to work, right? Because Mobley just can't hold up against someone as strong as Scottie Barnes, but he can do it on his own terms. He can hop, maintain his balance, and still maintain great position and length and contest these shots into misses. So even when he's not necessarily playing as strong as you'd hope, Mobley is still able to function at a really high level. And we're going to finish this off with another switch possession. Switching on to Davion Mitchell, yeah. Davion Mitchell and Jamal Shed on the same floor. Really funny. Spider-Man pointing meme. But point guard and is just not going to give up any ground. And Mobley put the two-way superstar stuff on display today in a big way. And this is what I expect from him this season, honestly. Like, this has been my expectation for Mobley for a long time. I think he's made good progress, and I really do think the world of him. Like, I think he's going to be a top 15-ish guy soon, honestly. And I've had this belief for quite a while, and it was good to see him pop off in the first game. Not to overreact, like, this is something I felt well before the season, but watching Mobley be used in maybe a more diverse way on offense, really impressive isolation scoring. Didn't see much passing in this game, but that's all right. Hit the three right there, and then defense is just so overwhelmingly good for Mobley. Man, I'm really excited. This Cavs team is one of my personal favorites to watch in the league. It has been pretty much ever since they've been good these last couple of years. I just love their players. I love Mitchell, love Garland, I love Jared Allen, and I really like how they all mesh at times, even if it can be clunky. But anyways, Cavs are cool.